Hello friends, welcome to the shed. It's Monday, a beautiful day after a weird weekend for me. I was mostly sick all weekend, went out Friday night to see Weird Al and was feeling pretty cruddy, took a whole bunch of decongestant to get through that, which in turn dehydrated me. I spent Saturday just drinking lots of water and recovering. 2 soccer games on Saturday with my youngest, so it was busy for me, but it was a good kind of busy. And then I spent Saturday evening basically asleep, trying to recover. And Sunday, Sunday, I did quite a bit of editing and did some art for another channel, which I hope you'll get to see soon. Did some graphic stuff here for this show. Got the webpage updated because that has been lacking recently. And just basically maintenance stuff that I needed to get caught up with. But what I really want to talk about today is Harbor Freight. Now, for anybody who's not in America or a tool person, Harbor Freight is a importer of low-quality tools. An importer of low-price tools, and typically that means low quality. Now, for the home hobbyist, a lot of the stuff that they offer there is good enough, right? Like actual useful products that anybody could buy and use, and as long as you're not using it, in a professional setting on a daily basis or anything like that, you're really not going to notice that it's questionable quality. I have quite a few things from Harbor Freight, and there's quite a few things I enjoy buying there because of the savings, and some of them I actually prefer, and I'll show you that in a minute. I said on Friday that I was going to Harbor Freight, and I did, obviously, or I wouldn't be talking about it. And I meant to take Instagram along with me and show stories from the store. And when I got there, I had this camera, and I totally forgot to pull the camera out of my pocket to do Instagram stories. So instead, I filmed here a little bit of the insides. I'm still trying to figure out how to walk with this camera without it looking terrible. So it mostly looks terrible, but I'm going to try to edit it. Hopefully, just watch. This particular store is about an hour and a half from me, so I've never been here. Let's go see what it's like. Of these clamps, you'll see them in the backgrounds of my videos, and they're not bad, but stay away from those. Those are garbage. Actually, I was wrong. These quick clamps are only available in store. You can't get these online, and these actually seem pretty quality. These are the crappy clamps. Stay away from those. But the red ones seem okay. Harbor Freight sells Gorilla Glue. Did not know that. I've never used a framing nailer. How does somebody hold this thing all day? Cement mixer. Seriously, is there anything Harbor Freight doesn't have? So I have been in Harbor Freight before. But the other one that I was in Charleston, West Virginia, and it was like a dungeon compared to this one. This was actually a really nice store. Pretty cool. Okay, so you see what I'm talking about. The shakiness of the camera, I move too quickly, so you really can't see much. I need to just really slow it down, and then I could speed the footage up, I think is what I need to do, is do like really slow motion, but whatever. That's not the point. The point is, that store was really nice. I had been in one Harbor Freight store before that, and that one was in, I believe, Nitro, West Virginia, or Charleston, West Virginia, down there somewhere, and it was like a ratty, basically there was an old something there that left, and Harbor Freight just kind of took over, and it was just junky compared to this. This place was windows on 3 sides, super bright in there, real wide aisles, things laid out really nice. Really, I had a good time. Normally when I buy from Harbor Freight, I order online. One of the things that they offer online is $7.99 shipping on anything. Literally anything. I have a motorcycle lift that was, I want to say it's probably 60 or 70 pounds, $8 shipping. Cool. So there's quite a few things that I own from there. I just mentioned the motorcycle lift. My jointer, if you saw last week's episode on my jointer, is an old Harbor Freight machine. This bandsaw was an old Harbor Freight machine from like a long time ago. They still offer something similar, I think, but this is an older model. I have a 6-inch disc 4-inch belt combination sander. Absolutely love that machine. It was, and here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to understand. Machinery like this, there's only so many factories in China that produce these. Namely like one. And so you might get the same exact machine with different stampings on the cover, different nameplates, because Delta has their brand, and trying to think of some of the other. There was a few brands of this style of saw that are functionally identical. The motors, the wheels, they're interchangeable because they're the same machine. They remain the same factory. So while this machine might be this price, then ones that have a bigger name on them will be a higher price. But when essentially it's the same tool. And that's the same thing with that sander. I bought the 6-inch sander because I had looked in stores. I wanted a combination belt disc sander. And I looked at the Craftsman, I looked at Mastercraft brand, I looked at some Home Depot brand, and they all looked basically the same as the Harbor Freight brand. Whereas the Harbor Freight one cost me about $40, the other ones were $70, $60, $80. So I bought the Harbor Freight one, and I saw some reviews about how it would be wild. No, that thing is beautiful. Right out of the box, the faceplate has almost no run out, no wobble to it. It's almost perfect. The sanding belt, no noise. I mean, the thing is great. I absolutely love it. I use it constantly. So there are things, and if you saw it like in the video, I said you see these hanging up in the background. These are Harbor Freight clamps. This is the Harbor Freight 6-inch. I think these are considered 6-inch. 6-inch F-style clamp. And then this is a Bessy Clamp from Home Depot. You put them side by side. These heads look identical except for where the angle starts here. These pieces look identical. I would not be surprised if these were made in the same shop. Now the Bessy Clamp has a coarse thread screw. This has a fine thread. The handles on the Bessy are wood. These are some sort of rubber. And the actual bar is more robust on the Bessy style clamp, but the Harbor Freight has a finer toothed thing, whatever you would call this, like a ratchet, so it can really adjust a little more finely. So this clamp is like $4. This is about $7. You can buy these in sets, and if you buy them in sets, you can actually get them for the same price as the Harbor Freight, but actually I love those. So while I was there, I did some shopping. I didn't buy any of those, but I bought a hand screw clamp. This is a wooden clamp that I've never used one before, I've never owned one before, But Jimmy DiResta says that everybody should use these, and there's all kinds of uses for them, so I bought one. I want to try one. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I've seen him and a bunch of other makers inspired by him use it essentially to hold something down while you screw or whatever. So I'm going to play with that just to see how I like it, and they make these in different sizes. This is the 8-inch, and then I'll figure out what to do with that. Also, some other things I enjoy buying there. This is the Warrior brand sanding pads, hook and loop sanding pads for my orbital sander. The Harbor Freight, actually, these aren't the best deal. There is much cheaper options available. These come out, these are basically $4 and you get 4 pads, so they're $1 a piece. You can get them in packs of like 50 for $25, so they're 50 cents a piece on eBay and such, and they're good quality pads. But I absolutely love these Warrior branded sanding pads. I use them on my orbital sander, I use them on my combination disc sander, and I really do love this sandpaper. It's really good quality. So this is one of those things that I will go to Harbor Freight and buy for a little bit more than the discount eBay sellers, because I like the quality of these sanding pads. And on that same vein, I've never used these before, but I see a lot of YouTubers using them, so I wanted to give them a shot. These are foam sanding pads, and because I never used them, this is actually Harbor Freight Tools branded foam sanding pads. I got a medium and a coarse, or medium and a fine grit sanding pad, sanding sponge. There's 10 in here, and they're basically a foam sponge with an abrasive outside, so they conform when you're pushing on them. And I don't know, I've never used one. I want to try them, so I figured, why not start with Harbor Freight? If I don't like them, then I haven't wasted a bunch of money. I think this pack was like $3 or $4. And lastly, the thing that I always buy at Harbor Freight and never anywhere else, because it doesn't, I mean, come on, is brad nails. A couple different lengths of brad nails. These go in my nail gun, which I use on 100% of the wooden projects I use nail guns to align everything. So I like to have different sizes. I got some 1-inch, some 3/4 inch, and then I have a couple boxes of 1 5/8. These are, there's 5,000 brad nails in each of these packs, and they're like $8 a pack. They're extremely cheap, but they're brad nails, and there's no reason to spend more, and so I always buy brad nails from Harbor Freight. As far as tools go, I try to stay away from their hand power tools. Their drills and heat guns and, you know, their palm sanders, stuff like that. They're just not. They're not going to hold up. But air tools, absolutely. There's no problem with them. Clamps, all that sort of things. They're great. So Harbor Freight's a good time. I enjoyed going there, and I will definitely be going back. There's a bunch of stuff that I need to pick up in the future when I have money. So I'm going to put the list together, and we'll go back for another adventure. And maybe I won't forget to Instagram it this time. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you guys for being here. As always, it means a heck of a lot to me. If you give me that thumbs up, that helps the channel out so much. So please give me that, that thumbs up. And don't forget to comment. Tell me what you think about Harbor Freight Tools. Tell me if you've ever shopped there. What you think of their stores. What you think of their online catalog. Yeah. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from wikipedia.org. How much of the Earth's atmosphere is made up of oxygen and nitrogen? Primarily composed of nitrogen at 78% and oxygen at 21%, with only small concentrations of other trace element. Nearly all atmospheric water vapor or moisture is found in the troposphere, so it's a layer where most of Earth's weather takes place. Interesting. 21% oxygen. Yeah.